So today we're making a cowl neckline. The first thing I did was to cut out the back, and if you notice, the back don't have a zip allowance. I don't want it to have a zip, so I added 2 inches in all my measurements so that it can fit very well. So this is the back pattern. I added 2 inches to my measurement. So now I want to draft the front where the cowl neckline is. So you can pick any angle you want to. You see the way I place my ruler? You can either draw it this way if you want your cowl neck to come down to your breast point. But if you want your cowl neck to be above your chest line so your boobs do not show, you can mark 7 and just draw a straight line. So it depends on you, anyhow you want to do it. So I'm cutting out my armhole for my front. Now that line you marked, you're going to slash it open, slash it to the end, just leave like half an inch remaining at the tip. And you can see my arm, the distance is like 9 inches, but I want something 7 to 9 inches. Once you're done, you place it on your dress. You can see the way I placed it. Make sure the center front is at the middle because you don't want it to open. You want it to come out as one piece. So you place it this way, then you slide the other one. Just watch the way it was placed. Open it as wide as you want. My own, I wanted it to be 7. You can open it. Then from that, your shoulder point, just trace it to the beginning of your fabric. You can watch this, pause and play and see it. Once you do this, you just cut through, or you trace it and cut it out. Cut it exactly the way this shape is. Now I'm going to have 2 pieces, front and back. Like I said, I don't want it to have zip because most of these tops or this cowl neckline, they're actually big, they're not fitted. So I don't want my arm to have zip. So I added 2 inch to my bust and to my waist. But if you want yours to have zip, remember to create your zip allowance for the back and put your exact measurements. So once we've cut through, the next thing is I'm removing the paper. Now I am going to mark my neckline. That's to show where my shoulder is. I just notch that point so I will know. So notch the beginning of your shoulder because remember you're joining it to the back piece. I am cutting it double because for the front, I want to face it. That is, I want to use a part as a lining. I like facing it. So I'm going to cut another piece, but I'm going to make this piece I'm cutting shorter than the main dress. So this one is going to be a little bit shorter than the main dress because I just want it to face. I want it to have a good finishing at the neckline. So I'm just going to do this and I'm going to my machine. For the front, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to join these necklines together. The facing, that is one I'm using as the lining, and the fabric, I'm going to face it and I'm going to join them together. And when I am joining, I am not joining to the shoulder. So I'm joining from one notch point to the other notch point. You will see it. I'm joining from one notch point to the other notch point. And I'm just only joining the neck area. So I'm going to sew it and I'm going to notch. So you can see I have sewn it completely and I also notch it so I can be able to turn it and have ease. So I sewed it from one notch point to the other notch point and I left the shoulder part. So now you just flip it and give it a good iron. So I've given it a good ironing. This is how it looks, and this is the back. For the back, I biased the neckline. So I'm joining the back to the front. Remember I said one notch point to the other. So the notch, there's a part for the shoulder. I'm joining the shoulder now to the back piece. Do you understand? So I'm joining the shoulder to the shoulder and I will join the sides also to the side. So I'm going to do that for the 2 sides. So I'm not joining the neckline, remember. And when you are joining the front, when you are joining the facing, only join the neckline from one notch point to the other notch point. Don't join the sides. Just join one part to the other. And I'm going to add a sleeve to this dress. So I joined the shoulders together. The notch point is indicating the shoulder. So I joined the shoulder and I'm joining the side. The next thing is to add my sleeve and my dress will be ready in no time. So this is just it. Remember, if you want a zip to be in your dress, create a side for the zip. But I don't want a zip to be on my dress, so I just added 2 inches to all my measurements so that I'll be able to, my customer can wear it straight without having a zip. I always like my cowl neckline tops to be big on the body, just not so big but just a little bit big on the body. Like I said, if you want to add a zip, you can also add your zip. So once you do the joining, the next thing now is to hem the down. You hem the down and you fix your sleeve. If you want a sleeve, you fix your sleeve, and that's just it. So you can see I have hemmed the down of the dress. I also went as much as weaving the dress. You can see I weaved the dress accurately and I hemmed it down. So the main thing is the sleeve. I'm going to attach a very short sleeve to it at the end of the day. So by the time you do it, that's plenty neckline that was on top, it will form something like this. Already give you a cowl neckline. So you can see it's already formed. So if you want yours to be more, you can expand your own to inches of 9. Remember, I use 7. You can use 9. You can use 10. As wide as you want it to be is your choice. So this is the end result. Try yours. Let me see.